Uncover your mindsets. What's keeping you from speaking out? Written by me, Lady Lexi. Chapter 4. A treasure map on canvas. When entering the pile of sand, there's something sticking out of this pile. I use my hand to wipe away the sand. I discover it's a piece of fabric the size of a big handkerchief. It feels very special, like silk. Why would someone leave behind such a beautiful piece of fabric? Maybe someone has lost it. It sure looks precious, and very carefully I pull it out of the pile of sand. Being able to take a closer look, I can now make up some sort of drawing. Wiping the sand away from the drawing, I see a steam train. There's a plate with the number 737 on it. I vaguely remember this being the same number as the number on the train in my dream. This most certainly can't be a coincidence. Next, I spot a sky full of stars on the drawing, and right in the middle between the stars, I can see a key shining and sparkling. This sends a shiver down my spine. I remember the newspaper article stating, "Last night, numerous people have seen stars resembling keys." Looking at the pile of sand, I can tell that there's something else stacked in there. It looks like some kind of box. What could this be? Just take a look for a second. There it is. Chapter 5. The compass. Going through the sand, I start to dig out a box that's round, and on the cover seems to be an engraving. Looking closer, I can distinguish it's a big pole star. Very carefully, I try to open the box. The box is a little rusty, and I'm afraid it will fall apart if I'm not careful enough. I'm completely taken by surprise once I manage to open the box. There's all this light coming out of this tiny little box, as if it's trying to tell me something. I close the box again quickly, since the light is this bright. It's actually blinding me. My hand is tightly wrapped around the box, and I can feel the warmth coming from this tiny box. It makes me open my hand and take another look. I then notice that there's a similarity between the drawing on the silk canvas and the lid of the compass. Both contain the pole star showing what seem to be wind directions. The box in my hand is a compass. It's going to guide me on my path. That's something I'm very certain about. Suddenly, there's a firm breeze, and as a result, it's starting to cool off rather quickly. I decide to go back. While walking down the stairs, I can feel the compass starting to heat up again in my hand. With the warmth comes the feeling of excitement deep within me. What's happening? Again, I start remembering words. You'll be able to recognize the key by its bright and shiny sparkling. This will be your sign that this is your key, which will be helping you out in the near future. Then the words are changing. You'll be able to recognize the compass by its bright and shiny sparkling. This will be helping you out in the near future. Helping me out? Helping me out how? Before I get the chance to give it any further thought, I notice I'm standing before an old building. It's broken down over the years, but it still has what seems to be a stately appearance. Back in the day, it must have been an important building. Strange, I thought I knew every spot in these surroundings, but I most certainly have never been at this location. Chapter 6. The Station. When entering the building, my attention is being drawn towards the big station clock. It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock? That can't be right. So much time has passed. Maybe the clock has stopped working. When checking my phone, it's showing me the exact same time. It really is 5 o'clock. I decide to keep on walking. While walking through the rubble amidst the broken walls, filled with cracks, it seems very unrealistic there's a functioning station clock. Again, the compass starts to glow within my hand. It is as if it wants to point out a certain direction. Should I turn left or right? When thinking of turning to the right, I feel the compass glowing even more, and I decide to take the turn to the right. I can see I'm approaching a tunnel. Suddenly, lights are turned on and lightening the tunnel, and there's a message from the public address system sounding. The train with destination to the stars will arrive shortly on this platform. Please be sure to stay clear from the tracks so no accidents can occur when the train arrives. Suction is very strong, so please stand back. I take a step back towards the railing, not a moment too soon, because I can feel the strong wind. An enormous dust cloud starts to appear, and I turn away to protect myself from all dust, rubble, and dirt being caused by the arrival of the train on this platform. Chapter 7. An actual steam train. After the dust clouds have disappeared, there's a huge surprise standing in front of me. It's a real steam train, a real big black monster surrounded by steam coming out of all its pores. Wow, a real steam train in my neighborhood. I just can't believe it. And there it is. Then I hear a voice. Do you intend to hop along, or do you want to stay here and watch? In a couple of minutes, this train is about to take off to her destination to the stars. If you want to tag along, you'd better hurry. I'm looking at the man who, judging by his expression, seems to be feeling sorry for me. It's the ticket collector who now is shouting at his colleague, the engine driver. Hank, please come over here and help out a little. How on earth can we leave our guests standing here on the platform? I'm looking past the ticket collector to see the engine driver waving at me. He's got a huge smile on his face. Well, a big hello to you, our special guest. Welcome aboard our train. You know, this is a very special train. This train will help your dreams come to life. So again, be welcome. The steam train starts to huff and puff louder and louder. It's still at a halt, but the engine driver is busy preparing the heater for the journey. I decide to step aboard the train, but then the ticket collector asks me what it is I want to do with all my luggage. Looking around me, I'm surprised to see bags, suitcases, and all this other stuff serving as luggage. It's everything I ever have collected in my life. Never before have I seen this, and to be honest, it's rather confrontational. Not sure if it's a wise thing to be doing, I decide to take all the luggage with me. I have to take a closer look first before deciding what it is I do or do not want to bring along. This includes all the stuff I do not have a clue about what it's used for. I'm starting to look for the manual or at least some document that will help me out deciding what to keep and why. It turns out a number of things aren't of any value at all. In fact, they are holding me back. This luggage is keeping me at the station and preventing me from getting on board the train. What should I be doing? It's probably best if I leave some stuff behind. Is it a wise thing to do? Who can tell? It's impossible to take everything with me, and it most certainly is not something to be desired. I should most definitely make a choice. Suddenly, I'm aware I'm burning my hand. The compass has become immense hot, forcing me to open my hand. The lid of the compass opens up the moment I'm opening up my hand, followed by a melodious voice asking me a number of questions. What's your purpose? What is it that you want to achieve? What will you be needing in order to achieve this? What is it you'd like to leave behind for now and forever? This is your chance of a lifetime. Take it. I look up from the compass straight into the face of the ticket controller with disbelief and surprise. The ticket controller is laughing at me, then says to me, "You have to decide what luggage you want to bring along with you, if you intend to come along with us. There's plenty of room for all of your stuff, but the more you take with you, the longer it will be before you'll arrive at your destination." I cannot begin to comprehend the truth of his statement at that moment. Next thing I know, choices are made for me to leave behind part of my luggage. Hank, the engine driver, starts to blow the whistle. If I want to come along, I will have to leave some stuff behind. Now! I jump on the train before realizing I've randomly grabbed some suitcases and bags. When the train starts to move, I can see from a distance what it is I've left behind. Some of this stuff contains a lot of memories, not always the most positive ones. For a moment, life seems harsh on me. Then Marty, the ticket controller, gives me a big wink. So, how does it feel to be traveling a little lighter? Do you feel more comfortable breathing after leaving all this stuff behind, or is it still hard to grasp for you? I'm looking at this guy. He's a slightly older man with a face that seems to be telling 1,000 stories. His eyes stand out from his face. He's looking at me as if he's reading me, but at the same time, there are sparkles in his eyes. I get a big smile from him. Next, I realize a huge burden has been lifted from my shoulders. It's okay to let things be and leave them be, especially when they are no longer needed.